on average, how many users do you get for each client?
So the clients that are currently using the platform today, almost all of them are between 20 and 200.
Okay.
Small to mid-sized organizations. We have one outlier that has about between 6,000 and 7,000 people, but there's only one. It's an outlier. But I do think that as we start rolling out more up market, that part of the value that Humaxa brings is scalability. I mean, if you think it at its infinitesimal, if you have a room full of 5 employees and everybody is together, the chances of you not knowing what they need to be able to perform is very unlikely. That's an extreme case. But if you take to the other extreme, when you have 50,000 employees and they're distributed all over the world, maybe they're a global organization, it starts to get really hard really quickly to figure out how to optimize your human capital.
So this this really is meant for those larger clients, right? This is meant for organizations that might have thousands of clients in multiple locations spread around the world.
Yes. It does add value even for a small to mid-sized organization if they're highly distributed, global, and have some kind of, either they've maybe gone through a merger or acquisition, gone through some sort of organizational change, and there's, for example, handoffs that need to happen. There needs to be better communication amongst the workforce itself. We do see some pretty strong use cases there also.
Which to me is such perfect timing. You started earlier this year, and immediately we go into the COVID world where everyone's working from home. So, distributed workforce is like, voila. So tell me how that transition really affected your business, and is it helping with the users that you have on the platform, or what are you seeing with that?
Right. It's a really good question. So COVID for us, and of course, we had no idea that COVID was going to happen the way it did.
Sure.
And the timing was rather interesting. Before COVID, I think we had 4 clients on the platform, and we now have between 20 and 30. So it's definitely helped us, especially in the sort of top of the funnel. We started getting instant notifications. Hey, someone's downloading. Really a very strong interest. Now on the enterprise side of things, the decision-making process has slowed down a little bit, I think, due to COVID. Mm-hmm. For example, we met with a very large, probably one of the largest consumer electronics companies in the world. And they loved what we were doing. We met with them 6 times. We were working on a pilot with them. And then COVID hit, and consumer electronics, they had huge supply chain issues. They had some really big problems they had to deal with. And so the project that we were a part of got put on hold. So it's been a double-edged sword, but overall, the fact that organizations are far more distributed and, remote in nature has helped us for sure.
Okay. Perfect. So now tell me about the 4 companies that you just spoke to last week. And again, it's okay if you don't want to name them, but I would like to get some idea of what that conversation is like. How many users you can potentially expect, and when you can expect them to come on the platform.
Right. Great question. So manufacturing, IT services, insurance, and the 4th one is escaping me right this second. They all are large, between 4,000 and 15,000 employees each.
Okay.
And this is actually a really strong case. So right now, our technology integrates directly with Slack, and we're currently working on an integration with Microsoft Teams. The problem that we have right now is we have a very small team, and really part of the reason we're looking for investment is to build out this Microsoft Teams integration. Every single enterprise client that we met with last week uses Microsoft, and they want that integration. So that is going to be a really big priority in the next, we'll say, 4 months by the end of
Got
this
it.
year, we need to have the Microsoft Teams integration built. For
Got it.
smaller, small to mid-sized clients, Slack is very common, but for large enterprise clients, and especially because Microsoft has been going after Slack,
Right.
and
Right.
they're doing well against. I mean, who doesn't use Microsoft Office in the enterprise clients? It's
Right.
everywhere,
Right. Right. Right.
ubiquitous.
Yeah. So are these clients, do they want to start testing the product while you work on the integration, or are they just saying, okay, let's wait until you have the integration? Tell me on the status on where they are.